The fundamental problem with alcohol education is that it often misses the mark. So how do you make sure it's not patronising or irrelevant? Head of PSHE Cliff Evans and alcohol specialist Gavin Bryce think one possible solution could lie with Year 10.
By the end of the session, what I'm hoping for is that you'll be able to tell me and Gavin the sort of information that students of your age, or even just a year younger, would like to know, or you feel that they ought to know about alcohol education. And then we're going to deliver that lesson on Friday to a group of Year 9 students. I'm going to ask Gavin now to come over.
Gavin and Cliff have organised a focus group with a few Year 10s to find out what they know about alcohol and what they think should be taught in Year 9.
All right. So why do you think it is that young people want to drink? What is it they like about drink? Why is it you think people want to do it?
Tastes good.
Tastes good, all right. It's quite a sensitive subject, and I think the main thing is that young people feel comfortable, that they feel that they can actually share their experiences, and indeed that we're going to listen to what they're saying. The environment's really important as well. Here today we set it in the round, and I think that that's the perfect environment to run a focus group, so that each person can see the other.
It's like not as bad as some of the other things that you might sort of think of taking. So like people wouldn't really mind if like you had a couple of beers, but like if you started sort of snorting crack and stuff, then people would start worrying about you.
True.
After finding out about some of the group's influences, Gavin introduces the next exercise, a Diamond 9.
You think are most at?
Yeah, it is fitting in, but not too early.
Sure.
This is used to help the group prioritise their thoughts. 9 key points are written onto post-it notes and then organised according to their relevance. The information gathered here will be helpful when it comes to planning the lesson.
And then at the very bottom of your pyramid there, you've got depressed.
It's usually like when like older teens kind of like they're, oh, I've got a really bad life, they just try and solve it with alcohol.
And when you're a teenager, most of the teens have the same problem anyway.
Right. You're all in the same boat together. You can share experiences that way. Well, you're facilitating a focus group and you're asking the questions. All these answers are bombarding you, and invariably you're going to forget them. So it's good that, as you've seen in the focus group earlier, we both took turns at either taking notes or facilitating the group. What have you learned in school about alcohol?
They try to say if you have one drink, you have a habit and stuff like that. Like, they try to make it out, it's terrible, you shouldn't have a drink.
And they're outlining all the bad points. That's probably actually going to make people want to go out and drink it more.
Because they want to be curious about whether anything good can happen.
To round the session off, Cliff takes the class again. They've had time to think about the subject and are relaxed, so he feels it's appropriate to find out what they think should be passed on to Year 9.
What sort of activities, what sort of information do you think it would be important to have?
The school tells them that it tastes bad, they're obviously going to want to try it out.
Okay.
Don't tell them that they're gonna feel like horrible and everything, because they're not, and they'll go out and realise that for themselves, and then they'll think, oh, the school's wrong. So
it's very good to reflect information that the student's saying. If they give you an answer, you can say to them, do you mean this, or this is what you've said, is that okay? Is that what you actually mean? Is there anybody else who can expand on that? So it's drawing them out.
They should also like be shown about all the good stuff, like it's good to drink at parties, just like watch out for your mates and stuff.
With the class at an end, the next step is planning. Gavin and Cliff begin by referring to their notes and carefully recapping on the main points brought up by the pupils.
We've got to be balanced. We've got to be seen to be telling the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, any information you give them is good. They're not going to take any notice of it, because your credibility as an educator is gone, isn't it? Right. Interesting that the students brought up the fact that there are poor choices made when you're under the influence. So we're going to look at that. I think we have to tease out, well, what sort of choices are made? How does alcohol affect their choices at this age, at 15, 14, 15, 16? Because that brings it a little more relevancy to them, really. I think one of the key things that seemed to be coming out was the idea of this keeping safe, and harm reduction was mentioned
Within that, yeah.
Within all of that, and I think that's, again, another key message that students
With these
want
issues in mind,
somebody
they
else
begin the
to be able to
process of
themselves
planning the
be
lesson.
aware of. This was something that came through the post the other day.
Gavin and Cliff brainstorm, looking at various resources and activities.
Some bizarre-looking person.
They constantly refer back to the pupils' points and figure out how best to satisfy their needs.
The alcohol industry employs 1 million people, true or false?
It's a good icebreaker because it allows students to participate straight away. They're hearing other people's opinions and they'll think, yeah. Wow, there's a lot in that. I mean, that is a lesson in itself, isn't it? The whole process is a lesson.
After several hours of planning, our teachers finally struck upon a plan that they felt truly reflected the opinions of the Year 10s. The class is based around a series of exercises intended to stimulate thought and discussion, as well as providing space for some of the safety messages that Year 10 wanted to pass on.
Right, to start the activity then, all of you are going to need one of these, one of those.
The first activity in the lesson is a set of quick questions designed to stimulate thought and activity in the class.
You need alcohol to have fun at a party. Ooh, lovely. Wow. Right, quite a lot of you read ones. Ooh, like this one. 14 is too young to drink. Oh, good mixture. Okay. Anybody who is holding up a red one to say, no, it's not? Tom?
Because it's like, all right for you to have a couple of drinks, as long as you don't have like too many.
Okay, so that's the key. Yeah? As long as you don't have too many. So at 14, it's all right to have a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think like a glass of wine with your family or something like that is fine. But getting properly drunk at parties and stuff at 14, I don't think is right.
Okay, this could be a controversial one. It's all right for lads to get drunk, but not for girls. Whoa.
Just because they're boys doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
I just think that anybody should be able to drink. It's their choice whether they drink. It's not to do with whether they're male or female.
You can find
After a short pause for reflection, Cliff continues the class with some group work. They're going to be doing a mind map, thinking about their influences and the effects these have on them.
Think twice about drinking too much. Just say to your teacher for people to go out that way. What do they reflect?
You've got your parents as well, yeah.
Because we are. Do you think adverts on TV make a difference?
Each group chooses a representative and feeds their thoughts back to the class.
When people are upset, they go to alcohol. Law can make you stop doing it. Money, boredom and wanting to try something new. School and the internet, and history and diaries, and that's what we thought basically.
We said TV programmes, like soaps and things. Whenever like a character has a problem, they always go down to the pub.
If people go drinking, what sort of tips have you heard people ought to be taking, sort of safety things when people go out drinking?
Not to mix drinks.
Okay. If you drink
a pint of water, you don't end up with a hangover.
You don't. It helps, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if you know you're going to be drinking, arrange for a way to get home so you don't have to drive.
That's good.
Eating while drinking helps. It makes you a lot less drunk.
Because someone could put something in your drink.
Somebody could put something into your drink.
The class gets back to more group work. This time they're looking at scenarios about drinking and discussing what they think they should do.
Say, if you really are my friends, please don't get me into trouble with my parents.
Have any laws been broken?
1 more minute.
Using the pace that he's built up, Cliff quickly moves the class on to the next exercise, a conscience alley.
We're going to give the whole class a scenario. It could be one of these that's already on the cards. And one side is going to be giving negative messages and the other side is going to be giving a positive message. And this person will go through the alley of conscience, taking on board everybody's suggestion. And when they get to the end, we're just going to try and think, well, what is the best thing for you to do, or what are you going to do in this situation? We've got the girls on one side, boys on the other. Just mix up. So we have 2 rows here, please. You can do that now. Put your chairs in. You are the good side. You are the good conscience. And you are the negative or the bad conscience. So you're at a party, and most of the people are your age. One of your friends comes over to you and says they've put some alcohol in the orange drink. The alcohol is clearly affecting your friend. A short while later, your friend starts to get a bit silly. No one else has realised that your friend has been drinking alcohol. You have to decide what you're going to do, but it is based on the information that your classmates are going to give you. What do you think he should do in that situation? Get help from a responsible adult? Matt?
Pass.
Pass. Carry on and leave him, OK?
Try and stop him from drinking anymore.
OK, we're moving down.
Have a laugh and just forget about it. See what happens.
Okay. You could say pass if you want to. OK.
Get some drink for yourself and join in.
Yay.
Offer something that's non-alcoholic.
OK, good. Pass, that's fine.
Pass.
Just have a laugh and join in with your friends.
OK.
Try and look after him.
Oh, yeah, good one. There we go.
It's his problem, not yours, so just enjoy yourself and forget about him.
Ooh.
Take him away from the situation and get him a glass of water.
He's not a baby, he can look after himself.
Get him to sit down.
Ask your mate where this alcohol is so you can have some.
OK, right, here's big decision time. Have a think about it. What's the best thing to do in that situation?
I think you should take him aside and, calm him down and give him some water.
Take him aside, calm him down, give him some water. Who gave you the most negative piece of advice? What was it?
Probably the person who told me to just join in and, because it was no big deal.
Just to wind up the lesson, and the last thing we were thinking about was about safety, keeping safe when you're having alcohol. Lots of the Year 10s came up with these suggestions. Plan your evening, right? Decide where you will go, what time and how you'll get back home, which I think was somebody's suggestion over here. This might sound really odd, but you should tell your parents where you're going, all right? Don't drink on your own. Very clear message from Year 10s, do not drink on your own. We could spend a whole lesson just looking at safety factors and how to keep ourselves safe.
After some information about local support agencies has been handed out, the class comes to an end. So what did the pupils think? And could they tell it was guided by the opinions of Year 10?
Yeah, definitely. Not only sort of like the language that was used, but they really spoke on your level. It wasn't patronising or anything like that.
You got to relate to other people, like people of your age's opinions, and they told you their views on it, and you told them your views on it. Because it's different when an adult's telling you about it, because you think, well, they're so much older than you, they don't know what it's like to live how we live now.
Conscience Alley was fun. I liked to see what people play the roles of the good people and the bad people.
I think it gave us a chance to discuss each other's ideas about what to do in a situation.
I was quite pleased with it, actually. I thought the students were very good and very responsive.
For me, it really was a runaway success. I'm very happy with how it went.
It's a process that has a lot of mileage, and I would recommend it to anybody. So the Year 10 group has actually helped me focus on information that I wouldn't have normally have given. So it's been a very good experience for me. Never stop learning.